right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to welcome everyone here to the State of Synth. My name is Dennis G. I don't know why I paused.
And I'm Neon Fawkes.
I was trying to say something different than what I usually say in the beginning because, you know how we have our little crutches and we're like, all right, we're going to say the same thing every single time. I'm like, we got to change it up. We got to do something different. And I ended up basically just saying the same exact thing that I usually say, but I just put a big uncomfortable pause in between. But here we are. It is 9:30 our time, and doing a late show on a Friday.
Yeah. You know what? It's 9:30 a.m. I guess for Craig Packman down in Perth, so he can actually tune in. Probably not drive either.
That is nice. We have Craig Packman. We got a bunch of people in there.
Yeah, you know what? We are live, folks. So if you're tuned in to nightride.fm, the IRC channel, if you're in the YouTube channel, say hi in the chats, because we like shouting out names. First off, big shout out to our buddy Craig, all the way from Perth, Australia. We got Gunrunner in the chat. Also, we've got Coffin Dragger.
Hey, look at that. Nice.
Mm-hmm. Jefferson Rift is in the house.
Very good.
Bending Grid is also in the IRC. We're going to be hearing a track from him a little bit later on. We've also got Kit.
Snugs Kit.
And we've also got Bin. And folks, if you want to chat with our guest, Mr. Power Rob. Hey, Rob. Welcome to the show.
Hey, what's going on, Rob? It's been a minute. You've been running around and doing
all the Rob stuff.
All the Rob stuff, all over the place, in every state, I think. I feel like everywhere I go, you're playing at that
there's a Power Rob or a Megatronics, something going on.
We're keeping busy.
Quite the mileage, I guess, the frequent flyer mileage you've been putting on or driving. I don't know. We'll get into your massive touring and
about things like Neotropolis and stuff.
Escapades. Yeah, I can't wait to get into that. Before we do, I think we're gonna start it off with a track. Jules, what do you think?
Sure. A quick shout out to Hearts and Beta, who has also joined us. G'day.
We love the Aussies. Very good.
Nate, Beta. Let's kick it off. We've got the newest track from UK chipwave artist Lukash. This wicked song. It pays homage to the Commodore 64, that's what got him into technology. And his love of the SID music chip.
That's the old bleepity bloopity computer with the clackety clack keyboard, right?
Whoa, yeah. Well, it was less bleepity bloop. It was more like a baby Amiga.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anyways, the Commodore 64. It's one of Lukash's core instruments and everything he does. So this is his new single. This is Lukash with Magic Gateway right here on Night Ride FM.
And that was Magic Gateway by Lou Cash.
What a track.
We were just having a quick discussion off air about some of the old bleepity bloopity sounds and all of the when they try to put voice in computers, like, it just gets me every time. It's like crack cocaine. And I was mentioning that game Sinistar, and I just feel like I feel like every now and then I think like Lucas should put in like this like digital vocalist, but like just dirty him up as like grimy and digitally as possible. And I think it would add to like the whole
you know what, with all the AI vocals around, it would be a nice refreshing.
Oh god, yeah.
It's like getting real.
Like have a human sing it, like a real human, but just dirty it up. Like just like make it as digital as possible without
to get Power Rob to sing at his hardest and then crunch it up.
Yeah.
There it is. Lucas, if you are listening, we have a vocalist for you, and his name is Power Rob, who we are with here today. Sorry, so I don't even know where to start. It's been so long since we've talked. You've been touring everywhere. We should just start with like the coup de grace, Neotropolis. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I see pictures. I just even the pictures don't even do it justice.
And Starcadian was there.
Starcadian. I know you performed there, and it was just, it just reminded me of this like big like neon hippie Burning Man. It was like cyberpunk Burning Man. That's what it seemed like to me.
Hey, so Rob, was that your second Neotropolis you've done?
Third.
So are they getting bigger and bigger? Like, do you notice it just growing?
Yes.
Oh man.
The first year was, I think, a little hampered because of COVID, but the crowd was still like, pretty hot. Year 2, they were getting a lot rowdier. It sold out. I mean, the last 2 years have sold out. I don't know if they're increasing capacity, but I heard there's been some talk about it being on par with Wasteland. I mean, it's catching up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the exact numbers, but every year seems the stakes keep getting higher. Like this year, for instance, was my first double duty one. Like I did Power Up on Friday night and then Megatronics on Saturday night, which was a fun challenge.
Yeah, I mean, that's got to be a lot of preparation doing like two shows. It's just
I also know like how well you take care of your voice, and what is the weather and climate, and because it's like desert, right?
Yeah.
So what's that like?
I would say it's some of the toughest conditions one can sing in. I mean, I thought I was ready for it. Like the first year caught me off guard. We just got done playing with Dance with the Dead in Magic Sword in Baltimore the day before.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to finish the gig, get on a plane the next morning, fly to LAX, and they picked this. It was interesting. We land. We're in full gear because we know we were going to have about maybe half an hour when we get on campsite just to kind of shake out the cobwebs and get on stage. And I remember when we got there, here we are in the Megatronics gear, and this guy shows up. His name is Viper, and he's here to pick up Megatronics. And it was like this really fun moment. I was like, this is pretty badass. And
that's so like a Viper comic book or something. That it just, I see the imagery, and like you can make that into its own comic book for some reason.
Yeah.
That's coming to my brain.
Viper drives us out 2.5 hours in. I was preparing myself for heat and dryness. Like that, I was prepared for that.
Like a dust bowl, like just dust, just coughing and hacking up, just dust bowls, right? I mean,
yeah,
it wasn't as much.
It was more like the dehydration didn't bother as much as I thought because I had brought my nebulizer. I drank a lot of water. It was mainly the particles. Like I'm from the East Coast, we're on the Chesapeake Bay, so I'm used to sand that's held down by humidity. Like if I step on the beach, it's not going to go in my lungs. I remember the guy warned me. He's like, we have a 5 mile an hour speed limit on campsite because of the sand. And right when he said this, we're still about 45 an hour out from camp.
Oh my God.
And I'm noticing my sinuses are beginning to tickle. And I was like, my mind kind of like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm not even there yet. And so I pull out a K95 and I got the job done.
What is that?
The mask, sorry. I still had a K95 mask.
Oh, gotcha.
Just to block, particles and stuff. And
I mean, you could spray paint it black, and you would like kind of fit right in, right? I mean,
thankfully, actually, I had black ones, so you're in the right direction.
Amazing.
I knew that would fit better, but yeah, I the big thing was, yeah, when you're up there doing like Megatronics kind of stuff, you're feeling it. It's accumulating on the vocal cords. Like you can feel it start kind of affecting little notes or influencing how your vibrato, your hydration, and. It was funny, as I was performing the first night, I was having trouble talking to the crowd. I was having these brain farts, and I was thinking, what's wrong with you, Rob? And Robbie, thankfully, he thought my voice was tired, so he began to kind of take a little bit over from the frontman stuff, and I really dawned upon me. I was like, dude, this is jet lag. Like, you just got off the plane. Like,
I guess
like I'm having trouble putting words together.
You didn't even think of that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, damn, why can't I function? And it was a sensory overload. Like, I got on stage, and this one cyberpunk lady was like, hey, do you want a go-go dancer? I'm trying to, like, shake off the plate.
The answer's always yes, right?
Yeah, and I told her, I was like, sure. And we're on these tall, at the time, the first one was thinner platforms. These are not the ones we have now where they're wide. So, like, I am in this tiny little kind of box, basically, and I'm across, like, we have two big platforms, like, 20 feet away from each other. And so I don't have my band partner to kind of, signal off of like we typically do on stage. So like if one of us misses a cue or something, we're not going to be able to communicate. That's it. We're going to go for it and see if we can nail it. And as it's happening, I had this lady next to me. She was awesome. Goddess Mars, her name. She's like whipping around a light whip with like LEDs and stuff, and it's just like sensory overload. Like I'm like, and I start feeling a breeze above me. And I look up, and it's a drone just filming me. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And like, this guy runs up, he's got this like super high def camera, and he begins to like circle me to film me for some live stream. In my mind, I can't, my HD, I'm like thinking to myself, how the hell does this thing have signal out here? He's live streaming? And like, I'm trying to focus on the set. I'm like, you could do that in the desert. Shit, next song, next line. And he was like, this is too much. And so like, that was Neo 1.
Overload, man.
Yeah, and like,
oh my God.
I had some people that met me, Neon Rose. And when they walked up to me and they're like, hey, Rob, it's great to see you. Out of just kind of a defensive mechanism, I was like, oh, thanks, it's great to meet you. Because I just assumed, with my memory, I was like, okay, I assume I haven't met these guys before. Right after I said that, I realized, oh, wait, I did meet them. Oh, shit. Like, that was just jet lag. It was like, that's how unaware I was. So year one, I had some lessons I learned. Like, I was year two, I started coming up with a training regimen. I started working on ways to maximize my lungs, and year two was much better. I began using altitude training, where I would have this mask on, and I would do like HIIT to like make my VO2 max higher. Basically, I wanted to focus on maximizing every breath I could take. I then switched my breathing from my mouth to my nose. With your mouth, you can get more air, but the downside is it's not filtering the air. Your
you
nose
can get more
can
dirt too. Yeah.
Yeah. Your nose.
Yeah. So nose can filter it and humidify the air just a little bit. And so if you do that switch and train your nose to be able to breathe more in, it was like a good safety net in case I started noticing I was getting dry vocally. By year three, I had adapted a lot. So by year three, it was funny. Year three was by far the hardest in terms of conditions. Like this year, I was getting text messages from camp, and they're like, hey, there's 70-mile-an-hour winds. No. It's tearing up the camp. Your sound check, I'm going to have to push it back. And for me, I had trained for months for this, and now I've had 2 desert shows under my belt. I was hyping myself up, like I could do this. Like screw that, let's do this. Like screw the wind, I'm ready now. I've had 2 years.
I hate to say, but like Megatronics belongs in 70-mile-per-hour wind, though. Like it's just that kind of band.
Yeah. It's funny.
Lots of things blowing around, and
what I refer to as pretty boy everywhere. Stuff. My power up stuff was night 1, and so I had to do all the pop stuff in like this brutal wind and stuff. I'll admit though, Gloria in those conditions with this wind and my guitar player hair blown back like Slash and stuff.
Oh yeah, there you go.
As exhausting as it was, like that was epic as hell. But yeah, my job that night was do the power up set, make sure you're careful with your notes, don't try to cut corners, and just pace yourself, because the real high stuff is night 2, which is Megatronics. The conditions were perfect for Megatronics. It was no big deal. But yeah, the first night, Sebastian, he's awesome, but he's from Honduras, so he's used to like high temperatures. I got him this like cyberpunk trench coat, and so he has the most clothes on compared to me and my bassist. He's shivering, his teeth are chattering, and I'm feeling bad. I'm like, dude, he's got to hate this thing. I have like a sleeveless shirt on.
Was it cold?
Armor.
It was cold in the desert?
Yeah.
No.
Those temperatures were, like, I was used to it. I felt that Neo 1 was colder, but the wind was brutal in Neo 3. But yeah, the Megatronics performance, I felt fine. Like, it's Megatronics has managed to perfectly evade bad weather every time. I don't know how we're so lucky. We had terrible rains on the second year, the day before us. And then this time, Power Up got slammed. But Megatronics just keeps getting perfect weather in the desert every time.
That's awesome. So now, the entire, like, you didn't perform like the entire weekend. You had to have some time to soak in all the sights and stuff like that. For somebody who has never gone to Neotropolis, like, what are some of the kind of crazy things that go on, or what was the things that kind of stood out to you the most? Like, I'm assuming you had a great time because, how can you not? What were some of the cool things that, for people that would like to go to an event like that really stuck out for you? It could be performances, it could be just giant mechanical whatever's in the sky, but what really brought it home for you?
They had one of the things I liked a lot was they had a lot of it almost looked like vintage prototype kind of cars, like retro futuristic cars. I don't know exactly which ones they were.
What, like Mad Max kind of stuff, or more cyberpunky?
Like, not really, because the cars were in much better condition. They weren't like really run down looking.
Oh, okay.
One kind of looked like almost like a vintage Ford GT40 kind of car. Like those really fancy concept cars. They had a few of those.
Wow.
The overall aesthetic is really fun. They have the Kaiju nightclub is just a fun location to hang out in.
What kind of music did they play? That sounds like a future funk place. But I don't know.
It's just mostly synthwave.
Okay.
Yeah, dark wave synthwave.
Well, one thing, photos from what I saw, there's a shit ton of people wearing LEDs.
Yeah, how many LEDs was
I like lights,
that
so it sounds like a place I'd like to go.
It had to have been like just a crazy LED, everywhere.
Rob, you've got your mic stand's got the LED, isn't it, right?
Yeah, I both actually have a new one. The one that I busted the new one out during Neo, the new Neo. My old one, I've had 4 Neo LED mic stands throughout my career. Each of them I give nicknames to. The first one was called the Mic Saver. It was a white one.
Mic Saver.
That broke. My
Mic Saver broke? Oh no.
Yeah, he's like, I'll mod it for you, man. The next thing he hits me up, hey, by the way, it's in pieces. And I was like, oh, thanks, bro. Then I got to replace it. Like, I basically tried modding one myself with a sleeve, and that was crap. So I got a custom made one in 2017, I think. I nicknamed that one Songbreaker. That's the pink one I did. I used at Neon. Definitely the most flexible one in terms of me being able to bring it places. The new one is the fanciest. I call it Excalibur.
Ooh.
That one's heavy.
Is it 10 feet tall and
it's
heavy as hell?
Well, it's stainless steel.
Okay. All right.
The base of it is a swivel. It has my name embossed in metal on it, Power Of.
Oh, damn.
And it's programmable. It changes colors throughout the night. Songbreaker is one color. You can switch the filter, but
where do you find something like that? Like, do you have it modded, or do you just walk to Sam Ash, or I don't even know if they're around, Guitar Center, and be like, I like one Excalibur.
Add a fruit.
Yeah, that's a good question. So there's 2 main manufacturers of these things. The first one is from the UK. They're called Rebel mic stands. They're good. I just wanted something that was even flashier because of synthwave and Neo and all that. And funny enough, when Thrill Killer played with Steel Panther, this guy walked up to me and he was like, "Hey, I see you have a Rebel mic stand," which I was like, "What the heck? How's you recognize this thing?" And he was like, "I'm the competitor." And I was like,
no!
Yeah. So he handed me his card and he was like, "I'm so and so. His name's Metal Dozer," and not cheap. I saved up for this thing. The Excalibur is by far, it might be more expensive than my rack now. This thing's a pricey piece of equipment.
That's crazy.
But it's heavy.
I think that's super cool though, the fact that you could really have that be a part of your persona. If I was to make a mic stand or buy a mic stand, I don't know. I think I would probably want to. I think I want to have like some sort of like animal skin or cheetah fur, and like it's got to have like animal teeth on it. Like I don't know, Jules. If you were to have your own mic stand, what would you come up with?
Just as many lights as I can pack on it.
Just
and I would call it Mjolnir.
Just
Thor's hammer.
Thor's. Oh yes. Now you would have to have like at least like, I don't know, like would the mic? Do they make glowing mics? I don't even know if that's the thing.
That's not yet. What I do with mine is cover mine in iridescent vinyl, so it glows based on the stage.
Stop! You do not. How?
Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah, I custom mine. I basically, it's adhesive vinyl that's iridescent, and I'll just put it around the mic handle, and so it kind of glows that way. If you look at my cover photo on Facebook, that's a good shot of it glowing.
That is wicked.
You can see it.
All right, so you get the award for like the most detail-oriented performer. Obviously, you could sing, and you know, you guys with Megatronics, like he just Dark Rob just kind of like completely fills in and completes the entire package. You know, I think it's time to hear some power, Rob. What do you think, Jules?
I think so. So you gave us we asked you like to pick the songs, and the first one we're gonna jump into is your collab with Battlejuice, The World Gone Mad.
Oh yeah, it's a banger.
Do you want to give us a little quick blurb about it before we play it?
Yeah. So it's interesting how I came into contact with Battlejuice. I did not do a very good job keeping up with some of the newer artists, and my girlfriend at the time, she was really big into like keeping up with who was hot, and she kept telling me, hey, you know, based on your work with Megatronics, like I think if you showed this Battlejuice guy like I-Fi Time, I think you'd be a great fit. And I took a listen to his work, and I was like, yeah, I definitely think we get along very well. And I just messaged him, and he got back to me about a week later. He sent me this song. And usually with collaborations, I'm very picky over like what I'm doing as a writer. Like usually I'm like, I usually like try to figure out the theme and the title and all that once I'm done coming up with melodies. I don't try to constrain myself until I figure all that out. But he wanted a very specific theme. He wanted the title as well. And so he wanted me to figure out how to make the title World Gone Mad like kind of catchy. And once I figured that out, he wanted it to be about the Russian coup attempt. Mm-hmm. And so that was thematically World Gone Mad. I make references to it without getting too literal, especially verse 2. And it was funny. I was gonna do it at Neo, and if I did see her out there, I was gonna make a little funny joke, or like if I saw her, because I knew she was planning to still go, I was gonna get on the mic and be like, "Hey, this is my good friend Battlejuice. I've been a big fan of his for years. I thought I'd reach out, just take all the credit." And be like, "This was my idea.
This was my idea."
Just see if I hear some yelling in the background.
Someone in the crowd go, "You fucking!"
Like, hey, who's that? Yeah, that was my idea. Hey, who's that? Yeah, I love you too. Like, you know, that would have been fun. But yeah, I'm glad she recommended him. He is a very humble guy, immensely talented, even though he won't admit it. But he wears a lot of different hats, everything from animation to writing to playing. It's been a blast working with him, and more importantly too, he kind of pushes me to grow. Like you'll hear this, especially in Love to Hate, that he's ambitious with what he wants out of his work, and my job is to interpret whatever he's looking for and then be able to write, you know, ways to work alongside it. World Gone Mad, from a musician's standpoint, it is a lot of my kind of habits as the Megatronics melody writer, and you'll hear it in this. It worked quite well. With Love to Hate, which will be, the other one we'll be playing, it just shows that he has very specific ideas, and I like being competitive with myself. So when he brought up, he's like, I want very dark, very low, industrial vocals, and I was just like, listen, whatever they are, I'll figure it out. And that's what happened with Love to Hate. So it's been a fun way. It's very salubrious working with him, where it's like, I'll figure it out.
Well, we got that one lined up after this first track, but yeah, man, let's give it a play. I'm interested and excited to hear it. Jules?
Right. Here we go. This is Battlejuice and Power Rob with World Gone Mad right here on Night Ride FM.
Baby, I can't seem to shake it.
And there it is, A Little World Gone Mad by Battle Juice and Power Rob. Very nice. I dig that track. It's over the top, man. I love it.
Yeah. By the way, I got a quick shout outs to folks in the chats.
Ooh.
We've got Retro Peak in the IRC, as well as Vibe Master and Demurge as well.
Some
we've
new
also
names. Very good.
Yeah, we've also got User in the house. Not the user we know, not with the E, not with the number 3 in it.
Okay. With an E. User with an E.
No, just User as in USR.
USR. Ooh.
Yeah, user
just
in
drop
Tron
that third
user.
character completely. I like that. That's ballsy.
So yeah, everybody loved your wailing in that because that's what you do best.
You do know how to wail. I will put that out there. You're probably one of the best wailers. Is that even a? I just called you a wailer, and that doesn't make any sense in the context of being a wailer. I'm just gonna stop talking at this point.
It's that martini kicking in.
It is the martini. I have myself. This is. We didn't talk about this on air, but I didn't down the martini, but I'm about halfway through the martini. One martini, but I haven't drank since last Sunday. So, yeah, it's the new Dennis. I'm trying to dry out a little bit, and take care of myself a little bit. I had some prune juice last night. I had some, not prune juice, beet juice. Yes, Jules, I'm back on the beet juice. Yes. And let me just say, I don't know if you guys drink beet juice. It's disgusting. Here's my philosophy, though. I drink a lot of whiskey. I love whiskey. I'm a big whiskey guy. And, some people are like, ugh, whiskey. I can't drink whiskey. It's disgusting. It burns your throat. It's just nasty going down. And I'm thinking to myself, all right, I need a good substitute for whiskey. And
beet juice is it?
I'm like, I need something that I drink it. I only sip it. I just put a little bit down the throat, and I'm like, all right, yeah, that was a good sip. And then, have that gross taste. And then I'm like, beet juice, because not only is it healthy for you, it's healthy for you. It has antioxidants. It also lowers the blood pressure, and it that's it. It tastes like crap.
That's like people drinking kale shakes. I think
I'm going to do that too.
I think it's just there's a mentality that says if it's disgusting, it must be good for you.
Dennis 2.0.
It's wrong. By the way, I got a quick shout out to 2 more people who joined us. Drowning in Waves is over in the YouTube chat.
Very nice.
And Mr. Lucid has joined us in the IRC.
Oh, thanks for tuning in. Now, Rob, do you drink anything crazy like that? Any kind of for a regimen, or just oddball things that you just enjoy or just drink for a reason?
Yeah, so lately, just for overall inflammation and better health, I've been noticing some benefits from drinking tart cherry juice.
That's what I'm talking about. Yes.
Yeah, and chlorophyll. Those two have been helpful. And chlorophyll's
Wait,
not quite as tasty.
I was hoping to say Coca-Cola or something.
Hold on a sec.
Wrong with you guys?
Chlorophyll is the thing that when you isn't it the stuff that you get from plants?
Yeah. You can drink it.
You can drink chlorophyll?
Yeah, Dennis. Then you can absorb the sunlight and turn it into energy.
Oh my! You can make your own oxygen.
Yeah,
that would be amazing.
I've been getting it just because of inflammatory stuff. It seems to help a lot with GI stuff, and
that's wild.
Yeah, no, you can get it at the vitamin shop. I've drank about maybe a teaspoon, maybe a day. It just tastes kind of like grassy water. It's not the best, but it's not okay. It could be a lot worse. But I've noticed when I'll get tired, I have a headache or something like that from a meal or something. If I drink that not long after that, or the tart cherry juice, I'll feel better a lot faster.
I'm with you on the tart. I gotta check out chlorophyll or chloroform. I'm confused.
Not chloroform. If I need to go to sleep, I guess.
Yeah. The one made of grass. All right, so
not that grass, the grass.
Right, exactly. That's cool. Like, so I guess they distill it. They distill it down into like a liquid, and that's wicked. I had no idea you could do that. I'm with you on the tart cherry juice because I did a little bit of research on, what's good for you and like the healthy things to drink. And like the two top things were like tart cherry juice and the beet juice. And I just kind of went in a direction. That's just the direction I went in.
Just don't say beet juice 3 times.
Well, it's funny. I was waiting to hear a joke like battle juice.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love it.
Right on the cusp of that one.
Dude, Jules, you are on point tonight. I gotta say. Can I just say that? All right, so let's circle back. We're going to talk about a little bit about some more Power Rob stuff. And Jules, I think tonight is going to be the night that you're going to ask the question that you've never asked during the show.
Oh, no.
You would never, ever ask this of a producer.
But just in case, for those listening, Mr. Rob, Mr. Power, when you sit down and you're like composing music, what software do you use?
What software do you use?
Well, most of the time I'm writing stuff is with a collaboration. I would say most of Thrill Killer was very low tech when I composed it. When I made that band initially, I was inspired by the Michael Jackson demos where he would just sing everything to a click track, and so I did that initially. I would get Audacity and I'd get a click track on there and I would just sing like the bass and sing the guitar, and then my band would learn it. Over time, I started getting into actually composing MIDIs, and then that's when I used FL Studio. But if I'm doing a collaboration with somebody, it's usually just me coming up with it in my head and writing the words down and record a few voice memos so I have a frame of reference.
Okay, I mean that's
FL Studio. Although it's cool because I've heard of people actually using Audacity.
Yeah.
To actually make tracks, and I was like, "What?" It is a wicked tool for considering it's free.
Yeah,
and
it's good for voiceovers. But even then, if I just record my voice, I'll probably use Reaper.
It's quick. Yeah, Reaper's where it's at. Audacity is kind of cool. I act like I'm a producer. I don't know shit about producing, but.
And don't worry, Craig. I'm taking notes.
Yeah, Craig, he's writing this down. Trust me. In fact, we do have a database coming out. We're going to offer a subscription service that you give us. How much could we get for like a monthly subscription service of what all the producers?
So you can find out what all your favorite producers.
Yeah. It'd be like a database. Like it'll be like in database. We won't put it online. We're gonna put it like on a CD-ROM, right? So if you give us like $99 or something like that, we're gonna send you the CD-ROM, and you type it in. You'd be like, oh, look at that. Power Rob uses Reaper and FL Studio. That's amazing.
I love what user here said. He said the Audacity. Brilliant.
It's amazing. Nice. I love it.
Okay, so let's circle back. First of all, because we're going to be playing another collab track, but before we get to that one, let's veer off topic, because you and I were talking earlier, Mr. Power, and we were talking about Arnold. You sent me this classic. What was it? It was a crank support call, right?
Yeah, he calls Gateway Computers, and it's just a clip that came to my mind recently. It's an old classic where she was asking what computer he had, and eventually he responded with, "My CPU is a neural net processor, a learning computer," and she was paused. Okay, it was like a classic. Like how do you answer that? A learning computer.
And I told you that because of the Hawk Tuah girl, obviously you go onto YouTube, somebody's got Arnold Schwarzenegger saying the whole Hawk Tuah bit. And one of my favorite tracks from Quixotic, the Hungarian synthwave artist, is Schwarzenegger. And so when I do my DJ sets now, I always slide in that Arnold doing the Hawk Tuah part into the track. Chef's kiss.
What does this world come to? Like, what is going on with music? I don't even know. Like, just remixing Hawk Tuah and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
There's something else I wanted to talk to you about. Your growing collection of arcade cabinets.
Oh my God! Now this is a subject that I can kind of get on board with.
Hey, where do you have the real estate for that kind of?
Wait, before you go any further, we should back it up and mention you are a what's the word? Purveyor of arcade cabinets. Is that the word? I don't know. Like, I'm not good with these quarter words. But you have a lot of you have a nice, modest collection of cabinets. And is it the arcade one-ups, or do you have like kind of like an assortment of arcade cabinets?
I've got they're all arcade one-ups, but
okay.
I usually end up modding them in various ways.
That's what I wanted to know. I wanted to get my own little arcade bot. Like, I'm a big Dragon's Lair fan, but I'm not gonna pay the amount of money that they want for the arcade one-up Dragon's Lair.
You get the Daphne emulator, and you can play all your Laserdisc games.
Yeah,
the proprietary technology.
I can't pull the trigger. I can't pull the trigger, although I want to so bad, but my wife would get mad at me if I come home. First of all, if I come home with an arcade cabinet in our living room. Second of all, if I spent the amount of money that I would have to spend.
Just tell her it was gifted to you by Power Up.
Now the arcade one-ups, do you feel like they are... I mean, you bought a few of them, so like I guess you would say they are worth the money, or are they only worth the money if you, like, you know, hack them up and modify them and mod them a little bit? Like, where do you get your most out of these cabinets? Because I'm thinking about picking one up. I just want to pull the trigger eventually.
Yeah, so if I had to be critical about them, the only things I'm not a giant fan of is they're not 1-to-1. They're like 3/4 scale.
Yeah.
They're not quite one. And the problem is with this is when you're dealing with like multiplayer, for instance, you really don't have a lot of room. And there are ways to fix this. So for instance, if I do one-on-one Street Fighter, it's kind of frustrating, to say the least. Now there are companies I'm familiar with where you can replace the control deck with one that's much more robust, and some of those get pretty fun. Like there's ones that are like they're like twice the width, improved buttons, and also have like cup holders, and so you have a much wider control deck, which is the main problem with them, I'd say.
Yeah.
Second, a lot of times the buttons are not great, but I mean, swapping out buttons on an arcade cab's not that big of a deal. You can get some high quality Sanwa buttons relatively quickly. I would say, you know, I like collecting the cabinets partially for the aesthetic of it. Number two, I wanted different ones I can mod that have different button layouts. So for instance, Mortal Kombat has a different button layout than Street Fighter. You know,
or Arkanoid. You get the dial, right? Yeah.
So for instance, I have it's funny. I only wanted a Miss Pac-Man one. My guitar player Sebastian, I told him that they had Pac-Man on clearance at Walmart because he wanted one, and I said I'd buy you if you pay me back. So I bought it, and then I called him. I was like, "Hey man, I got it." He says, "Oh, I don't want it anymore." So now that's why I have Pac-Man. Like I didn't want Pac-Man, so I modded that anyways. Like screw it. So I swapped out the marquee. I put an LED one in there, and I don't need it. I just wanted one, like, you know, like the Pac-Man games are not they're not 16:9 or they're not 4:3. They're the vertical layout on the screen. So I wanted one of those so I could eventually mod it and have all the classic like Galagas and all those that are the vertical monitor.
Right.
I did have 2 4-players for a minute. I had X-Men and I had Turtles in Time. But at the time, I was before I moved into my new place, I needed room, so I sold X-Men. At the end of the day, I was like, if I had people over, they'd probably want to play Turtles. So
everyone wants to play Turtles.
Yeah, I'd rather at some point mod Turtles. Basically, optimally, like my ultimate cab is my Marvel Superheroes one. That's the one I spent tons of time and money into. I swapped the monitor out. The old 17 inch is now a 19 inch. I got accurate artwork, so it doesn't look any different. It's just bigger. I swapped the control deck out.
That's wicked.
I swapped the buttons with LED buttons with 0 latency.
Yeah. Nice cherry micro switch buttons.
I gotta get on board with this, really.
Yeah, I switched the brains out, which was the biggest mod. It doesn't use the arcade 1-up ROMs. It uses a custom modded PS3 with a terabyte hard drive inside of it.
What?
So it has everything. There's about 40,000 games inside there.
Oh my god.
New marquee the marquee's different. The kick plate's different. That's the one that, like, ultimately I'd like to just for instance, I have a Mortal Kombat one that's like the 20th anniversary. That's got Mortal Kombat 1, 2, 3, MK3, and like Tapper and stuff like that.
Get over here.
Yeah, like, those are all there. I'd like to eventually maybe mod that one. I want to mod the 4-player one. If you really want everything, personally, you just need one of each type, and as long as you have time and you can look things up on YouTube, you just need one of each control layout.
I used to be on like the emulation community, and I was there's a website where it was a front end that was made for all the various emulators, and also so it's called Hyperspin.
Okay.
And they also make Hyperpin, which is a front end for people making pinball emulators. I went and made the mistake of biting off more than I could chew and built a full-size pinball machine, which I haven't got working yet because
who builds their own pinball machine? That's crazy.
It's way more intricate than. But I originally wanted to do a Franken machine, arcade machine, where it was like 4 players, the ultra wide like Turtles layout. But you'd have like the Tron joystick on it, and you'd have like the spinners up top, and a dedicated 4-way Pac-Man joystick instead of the 8-way.
Oh, you
like,
know what that reminds me of?
You gotta think of everything, and eventually you make something that looks like Frankenstein.
All right, we're veering off, but I do want to mention one thing that I can't even remember. There used to be a arcade, like a video game cabinet / pinball machine, like a pinball machine / arcade.
There was the
cabinet.
There was the Miss Pac-Man, which it was Miss Pac-Man on the screen, but just below it was a little mini pinball.
Yeah, and it would like
if you managed to open up the side gate,
go into a warp zone, it goes into a pinball game. That's like the coup de grace of video games.
Tilt has it.
I gotta get up to Toronto.
Anyways, I want to do a quick shout out to Memory Design.
Hey,
who's joined us in the IRC. We're going to be hearing a track from him. His collab with Bending Grid, the Bending Grid rework. But
very good.
First, let's
play
get back to Mr. Rob.
Yeah, and then we'll play a track because I know we have one more Battle Juice that we definitely want to play, and then all right. So circling back, Jules.
Well, Love to Hate. You were giving us the brief lowdown before the last track, but do you want to anything more you want to say about it?
Yeah, I've done like a lot of different styles of singing over the years, and but in this one, I would say it's the darkest stuff I've done, and also the lowest. The verses, I used notes like for the vocal musician nerds out there. The vocals and the verses go down to A1, which is just definitely reaching deep. So it's around the kind of low bass area. The few people that I showed this to ahead of time, there was a funny comment I got, which was they liked my vocals a lot, but they also liked the guy on the verses, and I was very proud of that. It's still me.
I don't like that other guy so much, but the guy in the verses was just killing it.
As long as you liked one of them, it works for me. That's on me.
All right, let's take a listen to it. First, quick shout out to Powerplay Milo, who's joined us in the YouTube chats. Anyways, this is it. This is Power Rob and Battle Juice with Love to Hate right here on Night Ride FM.
Makes me
And there it is, Love to Hate by Power Rob and Battle Juice. I like how in the beginning it was like Battle Juice and Power Rob, and for this one it's Power Rob and Battle Juice. You kind of
yeah.
did a little reversal there. I like that. But yeah, man, that was pretty heavy, hot and heavy. Very, very cool. Dig that track. And for anyone tuning in live, we are talking with the wonderful Power Rob about his escapades, his music, and
arcade cabinets.
His arcade cabinets.
Apparently, Drowning in Waves wants me to ask you about your crazy collection of what is it? Dragon Ball?
You have more than one crazy collection. I thought you were only allowed to have as a collector like one crazy collection that you just balls out on.
Like arcades are a pale shadow compared to my Dragon Ball collection. The stuff that I have. I have pretty much a museum of Dragon Ball for one room of my house. Oh my god!
Is it just the cards, or is it just like all the memorabilia and all that?
It's mostly SH figure arts and like third-party like figures that are designed to match them of characters that they didn't make. I've got about 300, give or take, that are all in different displays. And
my god!
I've built dioramas.
Would you say you know a little something about Dragon Ball?
Yeah, no, it's actually probably the reason I'm a shadow banned on Facebook is various humorous wars I've had with the fandom. It's just entertaining. I don't want to go too much into them, but there's a lot of funny. There's like canon to our shitposting. It's like there's Dragon Ball canon, and then there's canon to the back and forth. There's like sides. There's coalitions and stuff. We have like politics, like different members of different points of view are calling ceasefires. Like it's been hilarious.
I gotta go find myself a community like that for aliens.
You would fit right in, Jules.
I could throw down.
There could be entire episodes of the funny back and forths with this one. It's bad. It's so fun. Like I'm trying. I do that instead of like video games. Is the back and forth with these communities, and it's funny. I've got to make myself like play video games to have at least a more admirable hobby.
I know to do something constructive with your time.
Your back and forth is like throwing fireballs.
Yeah, yeah. At some point, I'll have like to do it. It was getting into a fight that was so intense. It was one topic. It was what's the strongest Majin Buu version, and it's like worse than the Hatfields and McCoys. If you take one side, like the answer is Subaru. By the way, if anyone has a problem with that, you can message me. But it's Subaru, not Kid.
Oh, you did some shots fired right there.
We got to the point where there was so much fighting that I openly called out the heads of the Kid Buu coalition to have a live Twitch debate, like with rules and like teams, and it was scheduled for the 1st, and then the Kid Buu team backed out, and we've been holding it against them for the last week. But we had a format, we had a moderator, like we were like, let's do this, like let's have this debate. We had a whole big group ready to watch and everything, and yeah, that was so much fun. Like we had a Discord for like mock debates to like prepare like, evidence, like the manga. And then they backed out. So we got to claim victory back on the 1st. That was really fun.
All right. So is it safe to say Dragon Ball Z is like one of your favorite shows, TV shows, type of thing?
Yeah, like that's the song Final Flash. I mean, the lyrics and the concept. That's absolutely from me. Like I heard it and I was like, let's make it about Vegeta. So that's absolutely me.
So any other like, are you into like just Dragon Ball? Like, are you into like anime? Like what gets you going? Like what gets you like inspired to just like just write like just a complete fireball of a song? Like is it movies, TV, things you experience? Like what gets you the most energy to like create the art that you create?
Well, it's various things. Like in Megatronics, that is very nerd culture centric, and so I wanted to write things that fit that. Like it spoke to us. Like that's about Unicron. That I love the Transformers '86 movie, so I felt it was appropriate on something that like that riff was so dark and massive sounding that I was like, I think Unicron fits this. With I Fight Time, Terminator was definitely the inspiration for that one. I can talk briefly about something that actually coincides with what you're mentioning here. I'm currently working on a live-action Power Up like music film series.
What? I saw you posting this.
Yeah, we've been spending the last month, me and the directing team, like making the canon for this and assembling the members. The storyline is going to have a lot of heavy influence from like Metal Gear, some Mega Man X, and Terminator, and it's going to involve a lot of fight scenes, a lot of lore. It's going to be a lot more serious than the Thrill Killer music video. It's kind of like a soft reboot, but yeah, a lot of that stuff. Godzilla's fun. I have every Godzilla movie, including the ones that were never released on disc, on different formats, on basically Blu-rays of them.
Oh my god!
Took me a long time to. There's some of them are tough. Like,
who's?
I know I have.
Who's got the bigger collection, Jules or Power Rob? That's what I want to know.
Of what?
Of Godzilla stuff, movies.
Oh no, nothing. No, I only like. I only like the movies.
You're like the biggest Godzilla fan that I know.
I was just telling you got to watch that last Godzilla movie.
I got it on my list.
-1. It's because
I got it on my list, Jules. But that's serious.
What I want Power Rob to write a song for aliens and call it Game Over.
Speaking of Godzilla, I did play an anthropomorphic kaiju villain in a rock opera about 2 years ago, based off Godzilla.
I remember your rock opera. Yeah.
It was fun. I got to stomp around the city. My high notes were the atomic heat ray. We would read the lights up to look like I was shooting a heat ray when I was doing high notes. It was so fun. I got to just break stuff and just be a big bully and give these villainous speeches while doing monster roars. And that was great therapy. Just destroying everything.
Okay, I got a quick shout out to Alexis Mathy, who's in the YouTube chats all the way from Argentina. Hey, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
Okay, so besides your touring back to back, like it seems like you're literally, you perform and then you get back on a plane and you go and perform and you get back on a plane and then you're modding arcade 1-up cabinets and you're getting custom mic stands made, you're working out, you're doing your Dragon Ball Z and trolling people left, right, and center, and you're stomping around in rock operas. Where do you sleep with all those cabinets, and when do you sleep, and like how the hell do you manage? For me, it's hard enough waking up in the morning, going to work, coming back, and making dinner. I don't understand how you do this.
Depends on when, I can work it out in the schedule. I mean, the biggest thing that I spend a lot of time on is really teaching a lot of my students. I teach
right.
roughly,
teaching too.
Anywhere from 25 to 30 students a week.
Wow.
What?
They're awesome. It's a wonderful job, and it depends on when the gig is. Like I haven't had too many gigs this summer. It was actually a pretty laid back one. My last show, I think it actually was Megatronics in May. Like we really took some time off. I spent most of my time working on music, and I'm working on the new Power Rob album. Actually, I just recorded some more on Tuesday in the studio. I'll be focusing on that. Like the next shows I have booked are going to be September 21st with Power Rob. It's going to be with 2D Cat.
Oh,
nice. Yeah.
Where's that going to be?
Wait, that's with Hazel.
That's got to be
right?
like
she's
in Maryland area.
It will, be in Baltimore with DJ Villainous and Nikolai from Haunted Palace.
Oh, I love that dude.
Synthwave Explosion. Oh yeah, he's wonderful. And it will be a night of just all pop synthwave at the Metro Gallery. And then Megatronics plays with Nano War of Steel. They're a really fun parody metal band from Italy. They're going to be on, I think it's the 28th. I'll double check that, but that's going to be huge. It's going to be Tragedy, the heavy metal Bee Gees tribute, and Nano War. And then Megatronics is playing October 9th in Rochester, New York with Displacer. One thing I've been doing with Megatronics is I've been noticing that there's a very kind of growing movement among a lot of like younger musicians, like the mid-late 20s, and that they're trying to bring back like classic old school new wave British heavy metal bands, like Iron Maiden sounding stuff. So I've been really pushing Megatronics to kind of like make our way in that community, and it's been doing quite well. Like we opened for Glory Hammer, we had a really good night with those guys, and I think we're onto something. I think that there's a lot of classic metalheads that want to hear like Rob Halford kind of vocals, like a lot of the metal playing from a Dark Rob, and I think we found a niche. Like I said,
they need energy. I think people need energy.
Yeah, metal. It's not many ways you can really write metal.
They
and I
need
think
more
if you inject
power.
synthwave- Yeah.
I think people are sick of people
to.
are sick of grinding on the dance floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just no
So
fun.
my plans. I've been making a kind of a secret network of all of those bands in that kind of niche. So my plan with Megatronics is just to go nuts there. We had I almost forgot. Back in April, we won the Maryland Music Awards for Best Electronic Artist. And
that's cool.
our job is just to push it. Yeah, it was very proud of that. It's actually hanging up in the room right here, the little plaque.
Congrats, man.
Yeah, it's been fun. Yeah, they're awesome. Gloria Hammer were a blast to work with, and that's the plan. But usually, I plan events out. Like when you guys saw me at Neon Retrofest, that was tricky. I had to do Power Rob first set, and then 1 hour off because another band was playing, then Megatronics, and as you guys remember, our sets got pushed late because of the fire alarm. I remember I was telling Robbie
that
he had to play Minneapolis the next
crazy.
day. Right, like so we had to get on a plane first thing the next morning and fly to Minneapolis, do Megatronics all over again, then Thrill Killer at midnight.
Wow.
So I remember I walked up to him, we were here in the back, I'm like, vroom, vroom, vroom. I'm looking at him, dude, tonight just got a lot longer, bro. Jesus Christ, we're not getting any sleep. But it was we rallied together, we made it work, and it was a blast, doing it. But it was just around that time, I didn't have much I was recording. Like I try to space it out. If I'm not playing a lot of shows, it's a lot of writing. If I'm not doing a lot of writing, it's a lot of shows. So it's part of how I get around it.
Yeah, I guess the key is to just keep on moving and doing your thing. And
I see the segue coming here.
watching lots of I almost said Power Glove. That didn't make sense at all. They're good. They're great too.
It just
Dragon
sounds
Ball,
like
yes.
It sounds like Power Rob is pretty restless.
Powerball.
Oh,
Powerball.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah.
I like that.
So I guess this third track we're gonna play from you, we're gonna smooth it out a little bit more compared to the prior tracks, right? This is more pop.
Yes.
And this was cool because it's on the Rosso Corsa Records Bandcamp label, and this is a collab with you and Miami Nights 1984. How'd that happen?
Yeah.
Oh, the story behind this is great. Michael is such a nice guy, and I remember I got a friend request from this guy Michael and on Facebook, and then he deleted it. But I caught it in time, and so I didn't know who he was. All I know is somebody's peeking, and so I messaged him immediately. I was like, I was like, you're too late. I already got it. You're getting a friend request, and so I didn't even know this guy. So it's like I saw that, and he laughed. He was like, "Oh, I meant not to delete it, bro." And I did not realize this is Miami Nights. I was like, "Whoops." So we laughed. I started joking about my online escapades, and we got along really well. We ended up becoming pretty good friends, and I brought up, I was like, "Hey, let's do a song together sometime," and he sent me the first song we did. It was funny. I just got finished with the Kaiju opera, doing all the monster screams and all that, and he sent me this song. He's like, "Hey, I'd like to make it a Christmas song," and it was just the timing was great. I was like, I'm just done doing that kind of stuff, and then it's Christmas time, and I was like,
blew
you know what?
everyone's eardrums
Screw
out.
it. Yeah, let's do Christmas. Let's do it, bro.
Let's do Christmas.
See how
I love it.
Actually, funny fact, Memory Design made an interesting comment here about Jeff Tate. Jeff Tate is actually a big inspiration of mine. One of my friends is a voice coach from California. She was on the final tour Jeff Tate did with Queensryche. We actually had a long lesson about his techniques literally a few days ago. So interesting you mentioned that, Memory Design. Good you picked up on that. There's a lot of Jeff when I do metal. But yeah, Michael, he sent me the Christmas one, and I told him, I was like, this is going to be a writing flex for me because I hate Christmas songs. But I want to make this sound good. And so I want to make this sound like one of the 3 Christmas songs I like. And it ended up doing really well. New Archwave liked it, and I just wanted to show I could go from Megatronics to Love and Roar, which is the Kaiju opera, and then do this what I affectionately refer to as pretty boy synthwave. I was like, yeah, I can do that pretty boy stuff.
This is your Mariah Carey stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty boy stuff. And so it did well, and I said, how about we do a traditional synthwave song? And that's what Restless Summer was.
Oh, nice.
And I remember it was funny. It came together really quick. With him, when I work with producers, I try to make it as seamless as possible. I've heard horror stories from poor producers that they'll be sent vocals that are so incomprehensible that they have to like build the vocals from scratch by like adjusting the pitches and timings. With these guys, I go to my dude, Tony Corelli. Those vocals are finished. You drop them in, you paste them. Actually, Bending Grid is actually doing that right now with the song we're working on. If they want them as raw stems, they can get them that way, but they do not have to pull their hair out trying to make a song out of a mess. You know, you get 50% of the rights if you're the lyricist and vocalist. So the way I phrase it is, well, I want to make sure I earn that and not make your life, a nightmare. So yeah, that's part of why, one of the main reasons that him and I like working together. He sends me the song, he gets finished vocals. Your job is to hit the paste button. Like, that's it. No need for you to get stressed out about it. I'll pay the, I'll throw in to make sure that you don't have to worry about freaking out. Plus, I also want to make sure the vocals come out the way I want them to as well.
Yeah,
But
that makes sense.
That's Michael and I. He does want to make a new one with me pretty soon, so I'm excited about that. But
So you got Bending Grid in the works. You got
yes.
more Miami Nights in the works. Okay.
Lots of
Okay,
stuff
let's-
cooking up.
We got a banger on the way. My parts are all done. He's doing some mixing right now, but I'll guarantee you when it's on your show, it'll be stuck in your head. It is infectious. I'm excited to show you guys.
His Parallax album was creme de la creme.
That was some good stuff.
Let's get to this track.
Let's get to
Yeah.
it.
All right, so this is Power Rob with Restless Summer featuring Miami Nights 1984 right here on Night Ride FM.
It's close to midnight. She whispers in my ear. I've never felt like my heart is hers to steal. As the walls come down, I've got it bad. When she says she needs me, understand. You leave your love at home, I've got it bad. When she says don't leave me, understand. Before we fall apart, restless summer, I'm in love with the loss of you. I'm giving in, don't you wonder how it all falls apart so soon as the walls come down. I just got to make time. We fall too far, too fast. We just got to realize this love's not meant to last. As the walls come down, I've got it bad. When she says she needs me, understand. You leave your love at home, I've got it bad. She says, don't leave me, understand. Before we fall apart, restless summer, I'm in love with the loss of you. I'm giving in, don't you wonder how it all falls apart so soon. As the walls come down, days of thunder, I'm in love with the loss of you. I'm giving in, distant lover, how it all falls apart so soon. As the walls come down. Cause I got it bad. You'll understand. Cause I got it bad. Please understand. Cause I got it
And that was Restless Summer by Power Rob. And, of course, Miami Nights 19.
Smooth.
Very good stuff. Dig it. I dig it.
By the way, quick shout out to Johnny Five, who has joined us in the IRC.
Hey, Johnny Five.
Johnny Five is alive. No disassemble.
Appreciate you listening. And, of course, all of our listeners that listen to the show live. This has been just an amazing talk. It's been so wonderful.
We could go on and on and on and on and on about arcade machines and pinball machines.
I know. It's just crazy. Like,
And
you're hitting
Power Rob
nerves
stomping
right
all over a stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was such a kid there. Oh my god.
Oh man, that sounds like so much fun.
Yeah. Now, if people
Okay, so-
want to get a hold of you, let's say for a collab or for whatever, just to say, hey, your stuff's great or whatever it is. Like, what's the best way to reach out to Power, Rob, and or Megatronics?
Well, if you're interested in vocal lessons, you can go to my website, which has a lot of my work in there. That's robbradley.net. I do most of my lessons online. However, if you are around the Baltimore area, I do have a studio. First floor of my house is a vocal studio now.
Oh, nice.
But if you're looking for my my like artist stuff, you can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. They all have the same handle, just Power Rob Music. But yeah, those are the main ways to find me, I'd say.
Well, very
And
good.
of course, you're pretty much on you're on the threads, you're on the Twitters, you're on the Facebooks.
Not Threads, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Well, you're on Instagram, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
it's-
I just never got it. I never got
Oh,
on
it's
Threads. I
it's
figured
so
that-
easy. It just
gotta
it'll
click a check
create it
box.
from your Instagram account and poof.
Yeah, I just figured that Meta took enough of my time as is. Why have a third?
It's true.
Way to do it.
It
It's
is
the same company. Like, what the heck? I already
Yeah,
have a
like,
Facebook.
how many times do they need your name and number and address?
I mean, is it worth? Is Threads worth?
It's-
I was thinking.
No, it's
Is
not.
the organic reach like? Did
It's
they make
not.
it really bad on Facebook to make us go to Threads?
No, it's supposed to replace Twitter because of all the shenanigans going on Twitter, right? So I mean, if you're not a fan of the Twitter stuff and the Musk stuff, you can go join the other camp.
Just be on
the
IRC.
the other robot.
We're all on IRC. Just go to irc.rect.network and get on our IRC. So,
And of course, Discord. Oh, Discord.
Discord.
You were mentioning you're starting up your own Discord, right?
Oh yeah,
very nice.
I have a Power Up one. I have two Discords. I have a friends one, and then I have one for I have a Patreon for members that you can donate as low as $4.50 a month. You'll get early cuts of what I'm working on and access to a Discord where I also reveal like who I'm working with. Again, early cuts, updates on shows I have not announced yet, behind the scenes footage, those kind of things. So
cool.
yeah, I got both those.
Very good. Very good. lots of ways to get a hold of the Mr. Power. Rob.
Well, Power Rob, we got to thank you for
Yeah.
coming on the show. I know I buggered up a whole bunch of scheduling for this, so I really appreciate your patience.
Oh, my pleasure.
And,
it's always
coming
fun being
on-
with you guys.
A late Friday night too. I mean, you should-
Yeah.
actually, no, you don't.
Well, we're all on the East Coast, so
I was about that. You should be at the bar drinking and partying, but no. Power Rob is building arcade cabinets and stomping around stages and planning live shows and.
he's living his best life. I tell you what.
I'll be getting,
I want to put on
my
a
big
suit
plan
and
tonight
smash
is,
things.
as prepping for we're filming the Power Up live action series in December. I am having as much Greek yogurt, chicken, and weightlifting as possible. So I'll be going back to the gym tonight. I'll be getting ready for this thing. It'll be worth it though.
After the show, I'm gonna plop down and watch the rest of Terminator Zero.
I'm gonna have another martini. It's gonna be a great night for all.
Yeah. Hope you guys have a wonderful night.
Thank you. So we're gonna say bye-bye to you now, and then behind this track.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on. It's been always a pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
All right. So, time to get over to Mr. Bending Grid and
Mr. Grid.
Memory Design.
Yeah.
So, the two of them, I believe, have joined the RetroSynth Records label.
Oh, very nice.
And Mr. Grid teamed up with Mr. Design. They've got a little collab.
Mr. Design.
And this is a new version of Mr. Design's track More Alive Than Ever Before from his Company Man EP. And this Bending Grid rework drops next Friday, September 13th.
Oh, it's a little exclusive.
Yes, a little early listen. Thanks
Very
to the
nice.
boys. Thank you very much. So before I play it, quick shout out to Lord Pigger, who
Hey,
has joined
Lord
us in the
Pigger.
IRC chat, and Coda has also joined us.
Thank
So,
you.
hey.
Very good.
So here it is. This is Memory Design and Bending Grid with More Alive Than Ever Before. The Bending Grid rework right here on Night Ride FM.
Now
And once again, that was More Alive Than Ever Before, the Bend and Grid rework. And yeah, man, that is just amazing stuff, Jules.
So, memory design in the chat, because I was like, who's doing the vocal? He's like, it's from a C64 commercial from the 80s. So not only do we kick off the show with a Lukash track with his Sid chip stuff,
yeah,
but memory design provides some cool stuff. And of course, Bending Grid throws down his magic on that. Guys, that was amazing.
Yeah, amazing stuff that's coming out. Make sure you lock that down.
Friday.
Get that in on your Bandcamp and wherever good music is sold. So, very good. We have a little 1-2 punch coming up, Jules.
Yes.
Is that correct?
We do. We're going to play another track. This time, this is Swedish artist Andrew Lucent. He's got a new album out called The Midnight Club, and it's out on all streaming services. And this one also will be available on Bandcamp next Friday, September 13th.
Another exclusive.
Yeah. That's how we roll here.
I love it.
So, from the album, The Midnight Club, this is Andrew Lucent with The Chase, right here. Oh, by the way, warning, there's sirens in this, so if you're driving, it's the music.
It's not us.
Not the cops. So here it is, Andrew Lucent with The Chase, right here on Night Ride FM.
And there it is, The Chase by Andrew Lecim. I want to say Lecimth, but it's Lecid.
So I think,
Lecint?
yeah, because he's Swedish,
Lecint.
right? So I think
Yeah.
it's his way of saying the synth.
Oh, yeah.
Swedish style.
Oh,
Lecint.
I like that. Well, very good. I like that track. That track is just full of fire, and we have
And lots of sirens.
yeah. We're not even done yet. We have some really good banging tracks, but
do we ever?
before we do, let's go. We got to do our public service announcement here and let people know about all the awesome. It is, oh my God, it is getting to that season, Jules. This is like my favorite season. Like, not only is it pumpkin season, it is like
Spooky season.
it's spooky season, but it's like every other synthwave artist that you want to go see is like going on tour in like September and October, which is just my favorite time of year.
Yeah, I just got done seeing Brother Tiger.
Brother Tiger, we had him on the show, and he was an awesome guest. Awesome music.
His show,
super chill.
Yeah. Hey, so let's kick it off.
Yeah,
all right,
let's do
it. So there be tours going on.
There be tour
right now until September 17th. The Nightmare Over Europe tour is going on. That's Midnight Danger, zipping all over the UK and various other places in Europe.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Absolutely. And we have the September 4th through the 28th, we have in UK and Ireland, we have LeBrock and Wolf Club. I feel like we've been talking about that for a long time, and it's finally here.
Yes, sir.
Just kicked off. So, yeah, if you're in the UK, two excellent bands. So, good on you.
And as I mentioned, starting this week, Brother Tiger's on tour.
Yeah.
He's doing a North American tour, so he's visiting cities in the US and Canada.
Amazing.
And that goes on till October 9th.
September 6th through October 18th, we have the North American tour with the Midnight and Chromeo. I am going to see my boys. I'm going to go see them in, I think in a couple weeks.
Yeah, they just kicked off today in Seattle or nearabouts. Remington Farms, Seattle.
Wicked.
And then I think they're hitting Portland, of course, and then all over the place, right?
That's it.
When we say they, it's mainly Tyler. Tim is taking care of, I think, socials.
Yeah, but
producing
also
music.
I honestly, I consider his touring band, like, I consider them the Midnight at this point.
Oh, yeah, like, geez, the sax players, the guitar players, drummers. Like,
They got a full, and of course, Tim is there, in spirit, and the music is there, and in your face, and rocking out.
You got Chromeo to boot.
And you got Chromeo on top of it, so that is a bill that you cannot miss. Don't miss that ticket. September 25th through November 19th, we have the Tour.exe. That is the Mr. Bastard, oh my God, Master Boot record. I keep like mixing up my words. It's the Martinis talking. North America and Europe. That man is going all over the place.
Not only earlier this year, Master Boot Record did a quick East Coast tour here in North America.
Yeah.
Now they're doing Europe, and they're going to be hitting the West Coast and Central.
Get enough of the Mr. Boot record.
Let's see, October 5th. Oh, this is a big one. The Synth Bangers 2024 event. That goes down in Denver, Colorado. And this is the one I was mentioning to you guys, Bending Grid and Memory Design. So this is going to feature Arcade High, The Bad Dreamers, Starfare, Watch Out for Snakes, The Runaway Wild, Master Boot Record, of course, Jacket, Cosmonic, Rob Sink, and then DJs Tower, Jay Eric, and Nick V.
Yeah,
Jesus,
that's gonna be a sick bill.
And that's all supposed to happen in one night.
That's unbelievable. November 12th through December 15th, we have the North American tour for Dance with the Dead, supported by Corrine. That is in the U.S. and Canada. So check that out.
And finally,
I just got my ticket.
December 9th through March 21st. The Pressure Point Tour. That's Ollie Ride doing. He's starting off in the UK, and then he's going all over the US.
Super wicked.
And I got my tickets for Seattle, Portland, and LA in March. So, boom.
Amazing. Good stuff. So if you want to find out about all the touring events that are happening, where do we go? What do we do?
Well, we made it easy for you.
We sure
if you
did.
just go to Google and type Synthwave Events, the first link that pops up is the Night Ride FM Synthwave Events
blog. Are you
blog.
saying it's that easy? All they have to do is type Synthwave Events and they hit our website.
I don't know how we did it.
That's
it's
amazing.
Just, I think people just clicking on it sent nightride.fm up to the top of the search.
Yeah. That makes
So-
us, I guess, like a premier news source for upcoming events. Look at that.
Yeah. And once again, if you go there, all the links there will take you to where to buy tickets. So you can check out the events, see if there's any near you, find tickets, gobble them up, and meet fellow synth fans in person. And usually the artists
Just
too.
like you and me. Speaking of awesome music.
Oh, dude, yeah.
I-
Good selection, sir.
Really, I couldn't wait. I snatched this one up on Bandcamp. I just couldn't wait to buy it again because this is it's a nice little rework of his
Oh,
classic.
Yeah. The BPM went up, so for
Yeah.
us DJs,
Cranked it up, just juiced it up with a little bit of pilot energy. So yeah, let's go ahead and set this one up and play it. for
by the
all
way, Ben
y'all.
says we got to thank Z. Z must have done
Z.
something to pop our events thing to the top of the Google search.
Z's like a miracle worker.
He's
is
like the white
he's
black
like the
hacker.
white knight in shining armor
Mhm.
of my life, and I appreciate you so much, Z. Even though you're all the way over there in Australia, but I feel like you're right here in my
Tasmania,
studio.
good eye.
I feel a kinship towards you, and I really
All right.
appreciate it.
So,
forever.
back in 2020, UK artist Pilot released this single, The Return. Well, he's decided it needs a rework. We won't go into why.
It needed to be reworked. Yes,
It needed to be reworked,
Let's
and the
leave
new
it at
version
that.
is faster. It has a little more shred, and
Yeah.
basically it just slaps some serious.
It's more
booty.
awesomeness. He needed to add
Yes.
more awesomeness.
It's
to it.
Pilot, but more Pilot.
More pilot.
So here it is. This is Pilot with The Return rework right here on Night Ride FM.
is the return, the rework, the pilot right there.
Yeah, that was fire.
Yeah. Like, it's all about,
Seriously, my booty was properly slapped.
keeping the, the pedal on the gas, or
No.
gas on the pedal, or foot on the gas, or foot on the pedal. You pick one and put the words together, and then that's what it is.
There you go. Pilot is an amazing artist.
I love it. Are we close to the end of what do we have, Jules?
So we got one more track, and then we're gonna wrap it up, and then send people off with one. So we got 2 more tracks.
So yes, I'm skipping a little bit ahead. I'm bringing myself back in the script.
You don't want to skip this next one.
No. We definitely do not want to. Is this one a premiere? I don't even know.
No. It's just dropped today.
Just dropped. Okay.
So one thing I gotta mention, there is a new Midnight track called Chariot that's out.
There is.
Of course. Now here's the thing, though. They say it's out everywhere, but I think the Midnight has been picked up by a big label because if you look at when you wanted to pre-save it, it took you to Sony's Spotify pre-saves and stuff. So you know what that means. You're not. I doubt you're gonna be able to get this on Bandcamp ever because labels.
What?
They don't want us having MP3s.
Our boys did good.
Yes, congratulations to them, but I want my goddamn Bandcamp.
So wait a minute. So if that is true, that can basically boil down to is we had 2 Sony artists.
Ooh, yeah, that's
on
right.
our
We had
show.
Cannons.
We had Cannons and we had the Midnight.
We're all that.
Because
you come on our show, and before you know it, you're snapped up by Sony.
We're not just martini drinking and playing video games all day long. We do things. We make things happen. I can't even say that with a straight face.
Yeah.
All we do is drink martinis, honestly.
Yeah.
But yes.
We put a lot of work into this show. Trust me.
We drink martinis and listen to awesome music like this track right here.
Oh yeah, like oh no, I gotta go to Bandcamp and buy some wicked songs.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna bring it back down to more manageable levels now from all the high energy.
Reel it in.
Yeah. So the Los Angeles master of the art, Droid Bishop, has a new album coming, and ahead of the release, he's dropped this first single. The new song features his vocals front and center.
Ooh.
And it's got some serious addictive melody in it.
Tasty.
So here it is. This is Da Bish with Renegade, right here on Night Ride FM.
And there it is, a little Renegade by the Mr. Droid Bishop. Yeah.
Beautiful. I can't wait for his album.
Drifting off.
And I need another Droid Bishop vinyl in my collection. Do you see the artwork?
I
the
did
artwork
not.
for his new album? Oh, because he creates it himself. It's beautiful.
Yeah. He's multi-talented. He's got all the angles in the art cover for you. So real quick, we're going to jump into our newest segment here. And you can go to the stateofsynth.com/shoutouts. It's shout out.
Shout out. Without an S.
Shout out. One word, shout out. And you can give us a shout out. If you are not able to, for some reason, tune in live, you can give a shout out and we will read your little message over the this thing.
Interwebs.
This radio thing.
A series of tubes and tunnels or whatever.
Yeah, the bobs and the wires and the configurators and so MK Khan sent a message in, and I'm not sure if he was seriously stoned or just maybe he's deeply interested in getting our thoughts on the opposite of milk is cookies, and he wanted to know our thoughts on that. What would the opposite of milk be?
So the opposite of milk is cookies.
I can't make that leap. I can't make that logic leap. I think there's no opposite of milk.
Why not cereal? The opposite of milk should be cereal, no?
Ooh. That's like this, what's that, symmetry or synergy or epiphany? What's the word when things, serendipity? No.
No, I don't think it's that.
It's one of those big words when you got two magical things that combine into something amazing. So I would say, well, although if you're talking about milk and cereal, that same synergy, that's if you were to measure the synergy level.
Yeah. Thanks, Ben.
You know what? I would say yes. The opposite of milk is cookies or cereal. Can you have two opposites? I don't even know. What if you had cinnamon? Ooh, Cookie Crisp. There it is. The opposite of milk is Cookie Crisp. That's the official answer. So very good. You can give us wonderful, enlightened questions like that. All you got to do is go to thestateofsynth.com/shoutout and give us a quick shout out. Say hi. You could say whatever. I don't even care. I used to be well, they should send us anything. Tell me what you're having for lunch. Whatever's on your mind, and we will announce it and let people know and comment on it and maybe make fun of it. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know what you're gonna say, right? You guys know what you're gonna say.
On those notes,
yes.
You too, folks, can be a Patreon of Night Ride FM. Help pay for these servers that are spinning 24/7 music.
That's right.
And allowing us schmucks to dive in and hijack the airwaves.
Yeah.
And keep things like the Synthwave calendar updated.
And where can they go for that, Jules?
Well, I think if you go to patreon.com/NightRideFM, that'll take care of it.
I think so.
But also, you can support Dennis and I, or you can just find out more about our show, The State of Synth, at thestateofsynth.com.
Yeah.
You can see all our prior episodes. You can get our show notes. You can see what's coming up. You can also buy us a beer. So next time we hook up, we get silly drunk.
Or a martini. I've been going for the martinis lately.
Or beet juice.
Or beet juice. It depends on, my mood. I wonder if you can make a beet juice martini. That might be the best thing for you, honestly. I think that's kind of bordering on health food, right?
Yeah.
Maybe. I think I'm going to work on that. What's the opposite of beet juice? That's the real question.
Coca-Cola.
Something good.
Yeah, tasty.
All right, so
yes. I just want to shout out to Retro Hit Radio, who plays back our show on their radio. Much like Night Ride FM, you can go to retrohitradio.co.nz because they're down under.
Yeah.
And catch 80s and synthwave tracks playing all day long. And you can catch us on Sunday nights at 10 p.m. on Retro Hit Radio.
Yep, absolutely. And it's been a great show. We want to thank our guest Power Rob for coming on the
he
show.
was
He was
awesome.
always fun to have him on talking about Dragon Ball Z and the Z and Dragon Ball and the Powerball and all that stuff. Like, it's always fun. He always has something fun and always a good story. So thank you for coming on the show.
I just talking to him and hearing about what he does, it just wears me out.
Yeah.
I just
want to go to sleep after I talk to him.
Out right
like,
now.
Honestly,
Like,
I just want to get in my bed and go to sleep. It's just too much.
by the way, folks, I told you I'm going to watch Terminator Zero. If you haven't seen this, it's out on Netflix. It's like 9 or 8 to 10. I don't know.
It's
10 episodes.
It's another Terminator?
Yeah, it's an anime Terminator story, and it is violent. And if you love your like Akira type animation and stuff, this is it.
Ooh.
Yeah,
All right,
this is some good stuff.
I got that. I'm going to put that on. I might really put that on my list. Not like the Godzilla one, but I might really put that on my list.
Folks, Dennis has not seen Godzilla, the original, or Godzilla -1.
I'm going to see it, Jules. I have it on my list. I told you that. We'll work on that, and my list is getting longer. But
all right, you know what? Craig wants me to do a shout-out recap.
Shout out recap.
So you know what? We're coming to the end of the show. We're gonna play one last track, but
all the people that are still here, and God bless you for
a quick shout out to Craig Pac-Man,
listening
Gunrunner,
this
Coffin
long.
Dragger, Jefferson Riff, Bending Grid, Kit, Bin, Power Rob, of course, Hearts and Beta, Retro Peak, Vibe Master, Demiurge, User, Mr. Lucid, Drowning in Waves, Memory Design, Power Play Milo, Alexis Mathy, Johnny 5, Lord Pigger, and Coda. Guys, thanks for tuning in.
That's a lot of names.
Guys and gals, sorry.
Guys and gals, thank you so much for listening to the show. We have one more track we're going to leave you with. Great show coming up next week. I have no idea who it is, but it'll be great. It'll be a great artist. And we're going to close it out with this last track here. Jules, we picked the best for last, I would say.
We're going to play you out with a track from Connecticut artist Bar X's latest double single. The double single is called Another World / Escape Reality. And we're going to play the first track, Another World. So from all of us here at Night Ride FM, have a great night, everyone.
And we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.